now, obviously, with the youngsters we've had, I keep an eye on them because their names I'm familiar with, and sort of keep an eye on them on the Challenge and Dev Tour, and it's great watching their evolution.
Like I say, they're on your radar now, aren't they? And
game shot on the third leg. Josh
27 a game. Josh win it full 3 all over again. Yeah, he doesn't like this. Sometimes you just have to take your medicine and maybe be a bit more aggressive and go inside, if anything. But that's a beautiful dart to wrap things up. And it was a tidy enough performance from Josh Richardson. But again, like yesterday, it'd be one that Christopher feels like he should have got something out of. And all he's got out of it is 6 legs over the course of 2 days, losing full 3 on both occasions, despite a higher average of 86.37. When we come back off the break, it is a battle at the top of the table. John Worsley taking on Tom Sykes.
so that leaves double 7.
Game shot on the second leg.
John Worsley. There from John Worsley, who's en route at the moment to get his revenge back on Tom Sykes.
Master on the bullseyes, Simon Whitlock.
$39. Tom
Wow. And again, match-winning doubles are the only ones being missed.
Game shot on the fourth leg. Tom Sykes.
Yeah, a little raise of the hands there from Tom Sykes.
Over the years, incur a few injuries. Kirk Shepherd springs to mind. Robert Thornton had an horrific one once, didn't he? Where he turned right over on his ankle. Ultimately,
shot of the match. John
gets
Worsley.
it done in the end, winning full 1, and he now tops the table on his own on 10 points plus 9. Tom Sykes remains on 8 points, but also on plus 9, so very much in the mix. When we come back, we will see our final 2 players of this Group C as Bradley Ruse takes on James Richardson. We'll leave double 11 and all sorts of things can go wrong from there. As it is, he wants tops.
Game shot on the third leg.
In that
James
scenario,
Richardson.
there's almost a case to say just big 19. Now, this would make James feel a whole heap better. He's got to go double-double. Tops.
Game shot on the fourth leg. James Richardson.
I was thinking the same there, Chris.
Ooh, double 7. Yeah, it's not the nicest double at any time. Never mind when you're trying to win your first game.
No score. Bradley car 51.
Double 16 for a level match. Yeah, and in the background, see James can't even look.
No, he is fuming. Doesn't want to watch.
Game shot on the sixth leg.
Won't have seen that as Bradley claws it back. He's gone 54, so single 16. Ooh, he's only just found it. And how often does that happen? Does a player just squeeze inside the single and then somehow manages to find the double with dart 3? But it is Bradley who, well, avoids a bit of a banana skin. We now have 3 players all on 8 points. Worsley out on top on 10. Sykes, Ruse and Richardson, Josh that is, all on 8. And we're going to be seeing Josh and Tom in our next match.
Car 101.
Double 16 for a 15 dart holder throw.
Leg. Tom Sykes.
Yeah.
It's almost a wasted dart.
Well, it is. It's a burnt dart, isn't it?
Game shot on the second leg. Josh
Answers
Richardson.
on a postcard. Shouldering
Josh
that.
car 130.
Yeah, and that goes back to what you were saying about that tension.
Players prefer a shot like this because it's 2 darts at the same target. Only needs to find one of them to leave the ball, gets the ball.
Flag, Josh Richardson, Joshua Car 100.
Another one of those.
Game shot on the 6th leg, Josh Richardson.
Yeah, what a fabulous leg of darts from Josh Richardson. 180, 140, 81. Ton out for a 12-dart hold. You can find the 164. Another one of those for ball. Oh, surely not. Behave. Ball.
139. Joshua Car 16.
That was a good effort.
Yeah, sure was. And I can assure you, Richardson's heart would have been in his mouth. His heart rate would have gone up a few there, watching those 2 treble 19s. He'd have been like a meerkat over his shoulder, tracing the ball in. But it is Richardson who produces a comeback victory. And Tom Sykes looks a little frustrated, and rightly so. Richardson wins 4-3 with a 91.05, 87.64. Sykes, look at that, 7 180s in the match, 6 to Josh Richardson. When we come back, it is Christopher Tunders against James Richardson.
James Car 80.
Top stops.
Another one of those.
Game shot on the 3rd leg,
Yeah,
James Richardson.
Here 2 from 2 on the checkouts and averaging 97.5.
3 from 2.
4th leg, James to 2 first. Game on.
Yeah. Yeah, that would have hurt Richardson.
140.
Good opportunity
James
here for
20.
the match.
Yeah, super pressure though, isn't it? From Christopher. Oh, how close is that? Not as close as that one, and it's in. Yep.
Game shot on the match, James Richardson.
Just making sure is Paul Hinks, and James Richardson eventually gets a win and picks up 2 points. 90.35 the average, very tidy. 4 out of 9 in the doubles, or should I say 6 from 9, as James does get a much deserved 2 points. When we come back, it's going to be Joan Worsley against Bradley Ruse. What do you think about that, Laura?
Bit of a red rag there, but John wasn't able to make the most of it. Just thought Bradley might have at least.
I don't think he'd have done it if it was 3-all.
Well, perhaps not.
Game shot in the match, Bradley Ruse.
Yeah, and there you have a 4-0 win for Bradley Ruse, and yeah, that really has put the cat among the pigeons when it comes to the table, because Bradley is now top, John's second, Tom Sykes is down in 4th position. Averages for that 81.83 for John and 84.68 for Bradley, and yeah, 0% checkout percentage, complete reverse of yesterday for Joan Worsley. But do join us after the break, where James Richardson takes on Tom Sykes.
That's the 3rd of the contest.
Game shot on the 4th leg, James Richardson.
This is much better. This is the kind of darts we expected, Laura. Yeah, sometimes that's just the best policy, isn't it? It's
60. Dominic R 40.
This is for the win, and a much needed win. His first of the day. The overnight leader to, well, really bunch up this group. We're going to have 4 all on 10 points, and that is the case. Tom Sykes goes back top. 10 points plus 10. Bradley Ruse, 10 points plus 9. Joan Worsley, 10 points plus 5. Josh Richardson, 10 points minus 1. There's the numbers, 84.43 for James. Well, lo and behold, James Richardson with the higher average, just for a change. 80.79 for Tom Sykes, but more importantly for Tom, it stops the rot. When we come back, another Richardson, this time Josh up against Joan Worsley.
Leaves Josh on 170, but first pop at it here for Worsley. 20 for tops.
For a 12-darter. Oh, you
Game
beauty.
shot on the 4th leg, Joan Worsley.
Very, very tidy indeed. So already had a 12-darter in this leg. He won't be going 20 ball. Treble 18 for double 8. Oh, treble 10 for tops. Yeah,
Game
that
shot
is
on the sixth
yet
leg.
another
John Worsley.
12-dart leg. And is this another one
Game shot on the
that
match.
John
Josh
Worsley will
Richardson.
go, how have I not got anything out of that? 99.40, the average for John Worsley. Yeah, he is defeated by Richardson, who had the darts in that match with a 92-24, 180 apiece. But the finishing from both, absolutely superb. In fact, 7 out of 10 combined, but it was 80% 4 from 5 for the winner, Josh Richardson. When we come back, Bradley Ruse has the opportunity to join Richardson on 12 points when he faces Christopher Tunders.
Christopher Carr, 100.
So he needs tops.
Game shot on the first
Very
leg.
well
Christopher
taken there from
Tonders.
Christopher Tonders. Sykes and Worsley, and although obviously they're not out of it, could very much, well, just as easily be Bradley Ruse and Josh Richardson going through.
Yeah, and at the completion of this game, they will all have played 8 of their 10 allocated matches. So there's only 4 more points up for grabs, and at the moment, those who were in positions 3 and 4 are now in positions 1 and 2. So the pressure is now on Sykes and Worsley.
140.
It may be a case where Bradley actually only needs 1 more win.
57.
Yeah.
Where for Tom and John, it may be a case where they have to win both their remaining 2 matches, and Tom and Bradley meet
145.
not in the next match, but in the one after. That could be massive.
Yeah, absolutely. And
that could well determine one of the 2
99.
that come through the group.
36.
Yeah, I agree. And talking about massive, this is a massive leg here for Ruse. Potential 10-dart incoming, and it is a 10-dart breaker throw for Bradley Ruse.
Best leg of the week.
I think so.
To top the table. He's just trying to, he's not going to rush himself. He wants to be ready. Oh, brilliant dart. Under extreme pressure, and you can see the reaction from Bradley. He knows how big that was. And he gets it done with an 87.63, 4 out of 12 on the doubles, 33%. And he only won 180. Went to the man who took the spoils, Bradley Ruse. When we come back after the break, Battle of the Richardsons again, Josh versus James.
$64. Josh Hooker, 86.
May see Josh need to bull himself on this combination. It will be treble 18 for 32 if he hits the single. What am I talking about? Of course he's hit the treble and the double. 2-1.
Josh Richardson.
Another one that we thought was going to almost not run away with it, but
take care of itself.
Game shot on the fourth leg. James Richardson.
Really slow start last night, but did manage to turn it around to get 2 wins at the back end of the evening. Yeah. Yeah, that does seem risky.
Game shot on the sixth leg.
What do we know? That's a really, really important last start there for Josh Richardson.
Oh. Decided to split the 20, 4 for double 8.
Game shot on the match, Josh Richardson.
That's always it's always a bit of a risk there when you go that route, because you potentially block out the double 4 as it was. Richardson manoeuvred around the potential blocker to get the win 4-3. It's what he does. It's what he's done today. And it's what James Richardson does predominantly. Have a higher average, but lose. Josh Richardson picking up the 2 points. Moves on to 14 points. It is very much in his hands. Well, Tom Sykes and Bradley Ruse, they face off after the break. He's got the makeup of one of those.
Tops required here for Rose.
Game shot on the second leg. Bradley Ruse.
Yeah, excellent finishing there from Bradley Rose to make it 1-1.
90. Tom
Statement
car
that
170.
Tom's not going to get it.
Yeah, he's basically saying to him, you can't take it out.
137.
Well, he was right, but only just. He's having a smile about it. He knows. Bradley knows as well. He would have taken a gulp of air tracking that dart towards the ball.
Game shot on the fourth leg. Bradley
Good
Ruse.
composure for Bradley. That's a 13.
Bradley car 103.
Get yourself on that stage. May even be lucky enough to be refereed by the legend Paul Hinks.
Not a disaster. So he's treble 20 for tops.
Game shot on the match.
Absolutely
Bradley
perfect. Rather than go 63 tops, he took the 3 off first and ends the hopes of Tom Sykes. Yeah, I'm for the players with ambitions to replicate him. You know, listen, use this as an inspiration. Look what he's done.
180.
And there's just the opportunities there. There's no, you know, there's no special privileges. Go out, play the ADC.
140. Bradley car 103.
Get yourself on that stage. May even be lucky enough to be refereed by the legend Paul Hinks.
Not a disaster. So he's treble 20 for tops.
Game shot on the match.
Absolutely perfect. Rather than go 63 tops, he took the 3 off first and ends the hopes of Tom Sykes, but bolsters his chances of qualification with what was a fabulously well played match. Tom Sykes 93.76, Bradley 93.13, a heavy scoring match. 15 scores of a ton or more for Bradley, 12 for Tom, and the doubling from Bradley outstanding. 4 from 6, 66.67%. When we come back, Joan Worsley in a must-win game against Christopher Tunders.
Game shot on the match.
Tops he needs, tops he gets, and he does get the required win. Has to win again against James Richardson in the penultimate match of the session, but gets it done with, well, 101.30, a very, very good performance. Not too shabby from Tunders, 88.04. Good finishing as well from Worsley. We know when he's hitting doubles, he is fairly relentless on them. Right, when we come back, we will start the 5th and final phase of games for today with Bradley Ruse against Josh Richardson.
Bradley car 58.
Well, for 3-0. Tops required. Yeah, and Tops got.
Game shot on the third leg.
3-0 to Bradley Ruse.
Well, of all the times, yeah, I had to go that way. There was no room at the inn.
42.
Yeah,
Josh car 40.
I think for Josh, it's something he's going to have to work on, and that's his ball management, because there's been a fair few occasions already over the course of the last couple of days where it's been really questionable.
Tops for the match.
Game shot on the match. Bradley Ruse.
Yeah, and you can just see the elation there from Bradley Ruse. A 4-1 victor over Josh Richardson.
Scoreline irrelevant for Worsley.
Game shot on the second leg. Joan Worsley.
So 20 and tops
60.
To complete the job in emphatic fashion.
Game shot
Credit
on the match.
to
Joan Worsley.
Josh Richardson, who grafted hard all day, being taken to the hill on 4 occasions and coming out on top. Unfortunately for him, defeat to Bradley Ruse. And the win there for Worsley against his father James means it is Alex Spellman, Bradley Ruse and Joan Worsley, the first 3 players through to tomorrow night's final. Look at that average when he really needed it, 99.41, and not for the first time today, 4 out of 4 on the doubles. When we come back, it's our penultimate match of the session, and it's Christopher Tonders against Tom Sykes.
Tom the car 32.
The 32. to sign off with a 13 darter, and that's exactly what he does. And I'm sure I speak on behalf of everybody here at the Super Series and those of you watching at home. A thoroughly enjoyable debut. Also enjoyed the performances this week from Christopher Tunders. So there you are, 83.2, a couple of 180s in there, 4 out of 15 on the doubles, and those misses came very early in the match. So for a quick summary and a look forward to this evening, I'm going to join Laura and Henry up on the balcony.
Thank you very much, Chris. Well, it wasn't quite to be for Tom Sykes today, but he rounds off with a win, which will give him some confidence going into the belt match tomorrow. Yeah,
and there is a lot that he can take. Obviously, you know, it has been a different environment, and he absolutely smashed it yesterday. Just couldn't quite follow up. Came a bit unstuck, especially with the doubles. But yeah, a lot that he can take from it.
So Tom Sykes, our final winner of the day. This is what we've seen elsewhere today at the Super Series. And we saw John Worsley make his way through to finals night. And he was joined alongside Bradley Rose, who had the perfect day as far as he is concerned, making his way through to the finals. It was a big task of him at the start of the day. The bookmakers thought it was a long task of him at the start of the day to go on and win the group. But go and win the group he did by completing the card.
Yeah, and what more can you do than that? I mean, it's exceptional. And really found himself up against it and under a bit of pressure at times, but just managed to find a way to kind of relax, you know, get his throw right, and as you say, tops the group.
And this was the big one against Josh Richardson, currently second at the time, narrowly misses out. But when it came to the clutch moments, Bradley found something straight away off the bat. He came back from 3-1 down against James.
Yeah, really well-timed finishes, as you say. You know, he's just managed to find that extra gear to allow him to carry him through. And I mean, his interview afterwards was just absolutely lovely, and it's quite infectious to see how much he's looking forward to going back and maybe trying to go one step further tomorrow.
And it's so nice to see from a young player, because I feel like sometimes players of Bradley's age and maybe just a little bit older can get all consumed by things. They maybe overanalyze things, but he was kind of playing with this real smile on his face, a real energy.
Yeah, and I think you could actually say the same probably for Chris Tozer as well. I think they've both taken to this in a way that, you know, they're just trying to enjoy the experience, make the most of it. And like I say, for Bradley, it's gone the right way. But don't forget, you know, he's won a world title himself in the WDF Youth, so he's no stranger to a good win on a stage.
No, certainly. And of course, I find it the last time he was here, he's going to be joined by John Worsley. Now, he was on 8 points, won his first 4 games in the group, but goodness me, he left it a bit later than perhaps what he would have liked. But what he did do towards the line was put in 3 incredible performances.
Yeah, he'd done what we kind of expected him to do, probably from the start. And I think he would say when he came into it, maybe a little bit rusty, he hasn't had as much match practice, but what he's done, just turned around his fortunes. And yeah, he was in control of his own destiny in that last match, and he really did make sure of it.
And just a 4 on Josh Richardson. Came so close, was in the running right until the very end. Needed Dad to do him a favour, couldn't quite do it. So I can imagine there'll be an interesting family car ride home, that is for sure. But came so close yet so far.
Yeah, and you know, you don't want to be relying on other people. I mean, I know it's just unfortunate that it happened to be his dad that he had to kind of hope one through right in the end. But bit of damage done yesterday and just couldn't quite find the winning kind of level of Bradley Ruse to make sure of his place.
Yeah, that's going to be brought up over the Christmas dinner, isn't it? Right, let's have a look at the table following the end of Group C. As you can see, Bradley was making his way through. John Worsley on, I was going to say goals difference. That's a completely different sport. Legs difference over Josh Richardson. Tom Sykes, who began the day top of the table, could only muster a couple of victories. He's on 12 points for Christopher Tunders, and James Richardson just didn't quite work out in the end, did it really, in Group C?
No, and, you know, I'm disappointed for both of them. I think they've shown, you know, patches of excellence, but just came across people that when they did miss, you know, the opportunity was taken against them, and hence just the one win across the 2 days for both Chris and for James. But yeah, for the rest of the field, Tom Sykes again, a little bit disappointed for him in terms of where he finished yesterday, but a lot that he can take from this.
As far as Christopher's concerned, we spoke to him earlier on this morning. He was loving every single bit of this, a bit like Bradley, as you mentioned earlier on, was just taking everything as it comes and not used to that kind of stage experience. He can take a lot from this week.
Yep, again, you know, this is completely unique. You get so many opportunities. I think Chris has said it a couple of times in commentary that, you know, the first few years of his career, when would he have ever had like 25 games in front of a camera, you know, on a televised event? So this is really good and should keep, you know, stand them in good stead. So, yeah, hopefully there's a lot that he can take from it too.
Yeah, hopefully we'll see him back here soon. He's been a real good character to have around the Super Series. Right, tonight is the culmination of Group B here at the Super Series. This is how the tournament bracket looks, because we can now confirm Bradley and John's place alongside Alex Spellman into the finals. We're going to find out the final 3 identities come around about 1 o'clock in the morning. Jared Cole is the player at the top of the table. He is the player to beat at the minute. He won all 4 matches yesterday. And considering where he was on Monday, he was struggling a little bit under the weather. To put himself in this position, you've got to give him full credit, haven't you?
Yeah, again, played day on day, has got better and better. You know, we've seen him take that fabulous 160, which I know we have mentioned a lot, but why?
Just a couple of times.
Why not? Why not? Because it was fabulous. But yeah, he has really stepped it up. And to go through the card in that field yesterday, yeah, outstanding. As
impressed as we were with Jared Cole, was that as... not disappointed, but surprised with the level of performance we saw from Richie Howson yesterday?
Yeah, it was just very uncharacteristic. You know, we always expect so much from Richie just because of the successes he's had on the seniors, you know, and what we've seen from him here. So, yeah, we always have that level of expectation. But you have to kind of remember that players that come here, they're human. And, you know, you can have an off day. But what was good was Richie managed to kind of just play through it and did get progressively better and got points on the board.
We're going to be watching that action from 10 o'clock tonight. So I suppose that's food o'clock time for us now, isn't it?
Sounds good to me.
Right, we are off to grab a bite to eat. You enjoy your early evening, whether it's a Friday night chippy tea or something along them lines, but don't forget to join us from 10 o'clock here for all the action in Group B here at the Super Series. But as far as Group C is concerned, concerned. It's been a long week, hasn't it?
Indeed.
As far as Group C is concerned, well, Bradley rose to the occasion, and I'm going to learn some English.